The crypto market is skyrocketing right now, especially Ethereum, because it's on the cusp of hitting a new all-time high. And we could potentially see a $5,000 Ethereum within the next few days. But more importantly, since 2021, we've all been asking and we've all been wondering, can Ethereum finally hit $10,000? And that's a possibility now. One of the main reasons why we're seeing Ethereum have these crazy pumps because of the institutional adoption. Just 2 weeks ago, we saw that BlackRock accumulated over 150,000 Ethereum. That's almost $600 of Ethereum accumulated. And just 4 days after, we saw that they accumulated another $100 million worth of Ethereum. Just within that week, we saw over $2 billion of Ethereum being accumulated through their ETF. And you would think maybe that's enough, but no, there was even more buying. And just this week, we saw the highest amount of Ethereum ever acquired in one day. Over $1 billion worth of Ethereum was acquired through ETF. And that's the reason why we're seeing this massive shift between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we're going to see all of our altcoins start pumping even more. As you can see, in the past year, Bitcoin was actually outperforming Ethereum significantly. But in the past month, we can see it wasn't even a competition, where Ethereum has gone up by over 50%. And even within the past day, we still see that Ethereum, in the past 7 days, we can see that Ethereum has gone up over 28%. So just in the past 4 weeks, if you allocated, let's say $10,000 towards the market, 4 weeks later, you would have $5,400 just in profit. And with ETH outperforming Bitcoin, historically, we know what this means. This is alt season really starting to ramp up, where we now start seeing all of our older alts that you might like, your Cardano, your XRP, your Solana, really start pumping and outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum as this alt season begins to heat up. But this is one of the worst times to suddenly jump into the market and be buying Ethereum. So let's take a look at what exactly is the chart telling us of what is most likely going to happen, what are the key levels ETH is probably going to move towards. This price range right here with the $4,923 is Ethereum's previous all-time high, which was set back in November of 2021. Now, with prices looking to move back towards that range, hitting a new all-time high, I will not look to buy right now, because we saw that prices had this massive move all the way towards the upside. Now, it's following that traditional uptrend structure where we see prices move up, a little bit of a consolidation, small retracement where it hit that level of support, and then we see a move toward the upside, and it had this range right here where it came down and hit this level of support once again. And we see this structure repeating again and again and again, where prices moved up, retraced, consolidated to this level of support, and hit this range right here. And this range is important because what we have here is a double layer of support. We have this recent support that's moving in the sideways direction, and we can confirm that this level is a strong level of support, because if we look back to the previous time when Ethereum was at this price range, we can see it consolidated right here. And prior to that, we can see it ran up toward this range and then it got rejected. Once again, it consolidated before it was able to break above. And we can see all of these multiple points where Ethereum came close to that range, but then it ended up running back up. And when it was within that range, it consolidated. Even when it broke towards the downside, you can see attempted, and then it got rejected. So we see multiple points of times when Ethereum attempted to hit this level and prices went lower and lower, showing that Ethereum is respecting this level of support right here, which is very strong. So now, having Ethereum suddenly run towards the upside, we can see small consolidation right here, right, with these two red candlesticks, and then we can see that break towards the upside. But the reason why I don't want to buy this is, number one, my rule of thumb, we do not buy when prices are green. We take profit when prices are green, and we buy when prices are red. If you take a look at our RSI, prices are significantly extended towards the upper side of the RSI. Now, whenever we see prices significantly extended towards the upper side, we know they're going to come down. It's going to have some type of retracement, kind of like it was previously right here. We saw prices run. Once it hits this level of resistance, we saw prices come back to hit that level of support. So having prices suddenly run back towards this upside, we know that this structure is going to repeat, and we're going to see prices move back down. Now, with prices moving back down, it may not have a full reset. Now, what I mean by full reset, in an ideal world, we want the RSI to come all the way down towards the bottom range and then start moving its way up. So ideally, we look to accumulate when it's down here. But because the market is so bullish right now and everything is just pumping higher and higher, it might put us in a situation where we just have to play with the cards that were dealt. Meaning we may not see a full extension of prices moving all the way down. It might be something like this, where we just see prices move a little bit downwards, small retracement, and then it starts moving higher. So what that means is when you start seeing that this chart gives you a little red candlestick where prices move down slightly, then that could be a point where you look to buy. So the main levels that I will possibly look to accumulate some ETH if you're new and you haven't gotten in at all is I would look to buy some potentially at the $4,000 price range, which is right here. Because number one, going down toward that $4,000 price range, it gives the RSI an opportunity to reset a little bit. Number two, it's also a psychological level of accumulation. A lot of people like buying cryptos at that round number. So prices retracing back towards that $4,000 price range, a lot of people will look to accumulate that. And we can see that there is some level of support there where we had two red candlesticks and we had another level of support right under there, making it a good level to accumulate. But what I would do is that I would actually split my level of accumulation. So here would be one range if prices drop, and then here would be a second range. Now, I do not think that we're going to see Ethereum suddenly drop all the way towards this range, but that is the difference between a basic investor and an advanced investor trader, meaning we don't just look at one side, we also plan, well, what if prices go even lower than I originally planned? So that's why I always say it's a good rule of thumb to split up your capital so that in case prices just go down towards where you expect it to go down, great, you're able to buy, and it goes down even lower than you originally planned, you still have some capital to buy in, allowing you to have a lower average cost, which allows you to make more money as you see prices return back towards the higher price range. If you feel like you missed out on ETH, don't worry, because even though ETH might be pumping, we've seen our alts not even reach their full potential yet. So to be able to captivate on this massive pump that Ethereum is having, you can look at some of other crypto projects that are built on the Ethereum ecosystem. Now, there's one specifically in mind that I want to share with you. Now, when looking at some of the tokens that are on the Ethereum ecosystem, there's currently ranked number 7, which is ENA. And ENA has actually been doing really well in the past month. Now, let's just take a look. In the past month, you can see that ENA actually did over 125%, meaning if you allocated $5,000 in the past 4 weeks, you would be up over $10,000. And look even how it's performed in the past 7 days. In the past 7 days, it is up almost 40%. And you might be thinking Ethereum is actually outperforming ENA. You're right. So you would have made more money allocating your funds just in ETH instead of allocating it in ENA. But we have to realize historically, the way alt season works is we see that capital move from Bitcoin, then move into Ethereum, and then start moving into alts. And our alts significantly outperform Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of our larger cap crypto. So if I'm looking to buy ENA, here are the key things that I would look for. Number one, we saw ENA was moving in this downward structure. Now, this is really good because it typically breaks towards the upside, and that's exactly what happened. We saw prices start to move toward the upside, and once it did, it established a little bit of a support level because here we saw prices starting to move down, and it held this area, and then it started to move toward the upside. Now, once we saw that retracement once again right here, it held this area again. So we saw 2 point of contact letting us know, all right, there is some type of support level. Now, what also is very important is that we saw a rejection right here. Now, not just one rejection, we can actually see there was 3 point of contact. Right here was the green candlesticks that got rejected, and here we saw the red candlestick got rejected. And when prices went down, it attempted a third time to come all the way up, but then it got rejected and it got pushed back down. So now that's telling me, hey, this price range right here is clearly a level which, being respected, it's a strong level of resistance that's pushing the price downwards. Now, finally, once we broke above this price range, we know that this upward direction is not going to go forever. Prices need to have a reset. So it's kind of like someone who's sprinting as hard as they can. Yes, you're able to cover a lot of distance, but guess what? You get tired and you need to catch your breath. And that's where prices start going down. You sprint, cover distance, and then you take a breath. Once again, we sprint, so we're going to have to take a breath. And when that breath is taken, I'm expecting prices to potentially come back within this range, which is around that 68 cents price range all the way down potentially that 65 cents price range. Now, you can actually see even on the RSI, the prices clearly have to reset. When the RSI significantly overextended towards the top, we know what that means. There's a high chance we are going to see prices come back down. So here you can see prices have significantly overextended towards the top, and there's a chance that prices will start retracing and will start moving back towards the downside. Now, when I switch it to our 4-hour time frame, we can actually see prices actually started to consolidate a little bit. So we can see that now there's a fight happening between our bears and the bull, where prices continue to move toward the upside, or where prices break and start moving towards the bottom side. Our RSI is already showing that we're leaning towards the bottom side as well, giving us that confirmation here. Get ready, you could potentially buy at this price range. Now, with the RSI, one thing we have to keep in mind, because prices are so bullish and everything is moving higher and higher, we may not have a full reset. And what I mean by that is that if you look at this structure right here, where prices did move downwards, it wasn't a complete reset on the RSI. The RSI didn't go below the 30. The RSI actually went below the 50 within this range, and then we suddenly saw prices run back where it was overbought once again within this range. So just be aware that during this season, when prices are moving so bullish and everything just going higher and higher and higher, you may not see that prices give you the perfect entry. But as long as if we get a fairly decent entry where we see, well, it is toward the bottom side, meaning there's more areas to run up instead of running down, and we've retraced down towards a level of support, which we know is strong because it's held multiple different times. That's enough to take an entrance to know that in the season that we're in with the bull market, that prices have a high likelihood of potentially bouncing here and then start moving back towards the upside. But one of the biggest things that a lot of people are missing because of the way crypto market is going up, and more importantly, what is making the price of crypto going up, it's making it easier for us to not only make profit, but easier for us to get out at the perfect time or at a really good time so that we have more money. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why. If you look at Bitcoin's chart back in 2021, when we saw that prices of crypto was just going parabolic, right? We saw Ethereum hit a new all-time. It came back, hit a new all-time high once again, and then we saw the bear market come. But one thing you'll notice that these drops were so strong. Like, I'm talking just a violent crash, prices just moving absolutely parabolic towards the downside, and we see it happening multiple times. As you can look at the chart right here, like just crazy drop. You would just wake up and your crypto wallet just took a big loss. Well, now that we see that institution buying, they're not overnight just going to sell over $600 million worth of their crypto, or suddenly decide to sell over $2 billion worth of Ethereum that they decided to accumulate. Because institution, when they're investing, they're looking to invest for an extended period of time. Unlike you, me, our neighbors, our friends, we just buy crypto. We're like, all right, I just want to make my first $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, and we hit our goal. We look to take some profit, right? Versus these institutions, they're going to hold for an extended period of time. And because they're holding for an extended period of time, what does that mean for our holding? It means we're not going to get these aggressive falls as we had historically. And I'm expecting if prices do go down, they're going to go down more of a slow grind instead of just a quick parabolic drop, allowing us now to take profit. And when we do take profit, it allows us to exit at a higher price than normally we would have, allowing us to make more profit. If you're looking to level up your crypto, make sure you check the link in the bio where I will be teaching and having a free crypto class, the essential strategies and techniques that allowed me to achieve my crypto goals and hopefully to help you in your crypto journey. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to be up to date when I release the new video so you can see it first, make sure you hit the subscribe.